Welcome back to Limbus Company, Daily Mirror Dungeon. Yesterday we did a Tremor team using one of the new well-purchased Knight units, and this time we're going to be using the other unit, the 2-star Hook Office Hong Lu, who is a combination bleed haste unit, but today, of course, we're going to focus on the bleed. It's been a while since we've gotten any, good bleed synergy, because, there is, Rhino Mercel, but he doesn't have any bleed potency, only bleed count. So really the last proper bleed unit was... yeah, I guess it was Grip Faust. Because the other N-Corp units, Grip Sinclair and N-Corp Dawn aren't the most bleed-oriented, semi, but not really. You know what I mean. Well, we got Gossipium, of course, just for more bleed, and... as far as the team goes, we're running him, of course, the new guy. Got a fair bit of bleed, he's got some haste stuff. Pretty good, overall, I'd say. Not worth looking into too heavy. He's just going to be a solid bleed unit overall. Driving you, and then you probably. I think that should work. Yeah, I love how this looks because it does very accurate to how Pain looked in Ruina. Although of course I do notice a little odd because you can't actually see the Union Co logo on the actual weaponry in his sprite. You can in his actual artwork, it's pretty clear there, but because there's an actual logo on the the weapons, right here-ish, but not on the actual combat sprite for some reason. And the basic game plan with this guy is pretty much always go for going first. Well, first, because this is the one that gives him haste. This is skill 2. Gives him 2 haste next turn. And inflicts bleed. And if the unit's fast on the target, inflict bleed count based on the speed difference with a 3rd coin. Because he's at 7 speed, he's going for someone with 1 speed, he's going to inflict that 3 bleed count. If I had him at upside 4, it would be 4 bleed count. Could have max 4, but that's fine. Yeah, the main benefit of haste is A plus speed, coin power plus 1 on his skill 3. Once again, I think it's another thing where I really should consider uptying it. I think then you also get benefit for having haste for the skill 2. I think it for a little bit of bleed. We're stacking the bleed up. That's for sure. Any way we can. The issue is most of his bleed inflictions on heads hit. I think these two can be turned on hit at upside 4. Fine. We just need to get Hong Lu's sanity up first and foremost before he's going to be able to do much of anything. And we definitely want to get rid of Hong Lu's skill 1 because since he isn't at upside 4, he doesn't gain the benefit for having haste with it. Or does he? He might. That might be an upside 4 thing. I don't remember. Upside 4 is so strange. Got the more haste next turn. And now we can rampage too. Unfortunately, he isn't high enough speed to get the +3. It's only a +2. You need 8 plus speed, which is a lot. This turn he doesn't have to, even with his haste, because his speed rolls what? It's a 3 to... he's got a 3 to 7. So we can't roll 8 normally. Increased by 2 thanks to the Starlight rewards from Mirror Dungeon 2 or Mirror Dungeon 2 in general. So he needs that haste, but even with the 2 haste, he still needs to roll, near max normally. Of course, Mirror Dungeon 2 is a little bit easier thanks to this increased speed we have. And if we ran, I definitely was considering running some Yi Song for the sake of Crow's Eye View, because this Crow's Eye View is just 3 haste to everyone whenever you use it. But not only do we have, not great Sloth on this team, and therefore I don't know how well we'd be able to make use of it. Yeah, we've got literally no Sloth right now. But also, we're not going for... we'll do a haste build some other time, I think. Well, we'll save that for later. I do definitely see how it's something that the two together can definitely be paired, since these guys are both combo units for speed and haste. Yeah. You've got 9 speed this time, but you only have your skill 1, which is just 1 bleed count. Simple enough. A lot of, our good skills going on right now, though. That's good for bleeding these guys as much as possible. We still need some more sanity, and this should be a pretty good way of going about doing it. We definitely need, like, I definitely was considering getting, like, the Rusted Knife as a starting thing, because the Rusted Knife is super good for bleed. But I wanted to go for the Gossipium, because it's the one that I think is the most, you know, fun for bleed builds. Because otherwise, enemies get staggered, and then you just kind of kill them. They don't really bleed to death without Gossipium as much. So it was just kind of my go-to pick. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get, like, Bloody Gossipium as well, Red Stain Gossipium. Which would just be even more bleed. I mean, it would kind of invalidate, like, Mersault and stuff, unless we had some way to have him inflict speed potency, since Mersault physically cannot inflict any bleed potency by default. But there is, you guess I can change that. Especially with the Rusted Knife. Rusted Dagger? Rusty Dagger? Whatever it's called. The Lust one. Getting our vent now. This is Poise. For people with Gloom. Okay. That's fine. It's a little damage benefit. It doesn't, like, particularly synergize with us. But that's fine. Yeah, you're the only one with the Gloom on this team with your skill 2. Who are the other 2 people we have? Dawn does not have Gloom, and Heathcliff does have Gloom. So it's either going to be Heathcliff or Mercil getting the Poise every turn. That's fine. Yeah, we can go in first. Which isn't going first very immediately. It's going second. Or it's going... I don't know why Lenticulus Swirl's going first. I think it's because, like, speed die because of the skill tree. And you going first went, like, fourth. I guess it's, like, tied for second with all these other things, but you know what I mean. Funny joke. Whoops. Okay, you do have enough speed to make use of Rampage now, so you gain the +1 coin power, so it becomes a 4+3. Is actually counting it there? 4+3. Yeah, it is. I'm hovering over it. You can see in the top, it does say 4+3. So it is actually already factoring the fact that he's got more speed, another coin power on it right now, which is pretty good. For a little bit of, we do a little rampaging. Nice. It seems like a decent enough skill 3. It's the kind of one where, without the speed, it's going to be pretty underwhelming, because it'll just be a 4 coin +2. But 4 coin +3 isn't bad. That's like Warp Mersault level of skill 3. Which isn't bad, since Warp Mersault is a tier 3. 3-star, yeah. Before boss time. God. Yeah, we've got a lot of need for resources we do not have, of course. This menu is just super cool looking. Look at how much envy stuff there's. It's like scrolling, there's so much stuff. It doesn't really need to scroll right now, because like nothing's really cut off. I guess the bottom of Prime Shank's cut off, but like barely. Just barely. Let's see. Can we get some bleed on you? Not really. We can get some bleed count on you, though. Sure. Gotta focus the big boss here. The other enemies are gonna die fast enough, but we might be able to get some bleed stuff going for Ida, especially because Ida does have a lot of multi-coin attack. Could be bleeding a lot if we just get enough on her. Of course, it's all about, you know, getting a decent amount of bleed count on her in the first place, though. We'll get bleed potency from Stagner from Bloody Gossipium. You get very little. Yeah, you're only getting 2 bleed count from that. It's 8 plus Stagger level times 4 bleed on them, so it's a decent amount of bleed potency, but very little bleed count. Which is why it synergizes so well with, of course, Red Stained Gossipium. They're meant to go hand in hand, just because it just kind of parries super well. A little bit of bleed on you. That's good. 3 bleed, 3 bleed count. Yeah, you're gonna get some attacks off, though. It really depends on which attacks we get off. Yeah, these two are gonna make her run out of bleed. We're not gonna be able to keep her bleed up. Unless we stagger her with, like, Demolish. I guess we could theoretically do that. I'm not particularly counting on it, though. And you don't have the speed for that, that's fine. I wish track gave, like, 1 haste or something, but I understand why it doesn't. It just makes track feel super underwhelming most of the time for Honglu. Oh, is this a stagger? It is. Okay. So you are, in fact, like, very bloodied now. You might just die this turn, though, yeah. That's unfortunate. Because you've been stagger plus, so next turn you would have gotten, you know, the... Was it, like, 16 bleed potency, 4 count, or 2 count? Would have put you decently high up, and then we could have bled you to death. Oh, deal and take less damage from bleed enemies. That works. It doesn't, like, directly benefit our bleed output, so it's underwhelming compared to other things we could have gotten. But it is still bleed damage, so I'm still good with it. Isn't your skill 1 the only one here? I don't even know if you're that great for us. What do you have, though? 2 nails. 2 nails, 2 nails. We kind of need the potency more than we need the count right now from nails. So yeah, you can go. We'll just try and remember to use your skill 1 predominantly. You don't have your skill 1? Alright. Never mind that then. First though, going first. Okay, going first did stagger one of them. Multiple of them are being staggered. This one's just edge. The staggered ones are going to take all their bleed mounts. And look at this guy and his 14 bleed. He's definitely dead. Even if you win the clash, like, he'll still have to roll the coin twice. Minimum. Oh, 11 speed here. There we go. That's good. That's rolling the max speed thanks to the Starlight bonus and the +2 from using going first last turn. So we can get a good rampage off. It's against a target that really doesn't need a good rampage. Only at 60 HP, but it's still good. It's just too good. That's the issue, I suppose. You can get another going first off though, so next turn you'll have even more haste. And rampage should just kill these guys, I assume. They're weak to pierce, yeah, definitely. Didn't even need his 4th coin. Well, most of them are dead. Is it just you left? Yep, it sure is. Couldn't tell if there was like another red cheat guy or something like barely off the screen, but no, that was the last one. Now we get a shop. 300 cost. Nothing good for us here, yeah, no. Dawn skill? Give Dawn another skill 3? Not a bad choice. Her skill 3 is pretty good. I think we want to get rid of one of her skill 2s though, right? Yeah, skill 2 to skill 3. I'm pretty sure that's the play. I'll check to see if I misinterpreted it, but... Your skill 2 is nothing, like, good for us. Alright, we'll replace Honglu with Dawn for now, then. Since we did just spend, you know, 200 cost on her. Or no, we only spent 125. Yeah, since we did a skill 2 to skill 3. You can roll your skill 3, that's fine. What does your passive even do? Deal more damage to targets with bleed? Cool. Oh, we get whistles off here. That'll mean that Dawn will get a pretty decent like head start on Sanity. And gains Fanatic. Oh, that's right! Whistles is now affected by recent changes, is it not? It changes to how the order thinner selected affect ties. Because, so, what I'm trying to say here is Whistles hits 2 people with the least SP. Dawn, of course, was the obvious other choice, but then all 5 of these people have the exact same SP. So who does it choose first, you may ask? Well, now, I think an update like 2 weeks ago or something changed it. So in a tie, it'll always choose the person with the higher selected order from the team selection screen. So because our order was, you know, Honglu, Faust, I think Yoshu, Mercel, Rodion, Dawn, that means it goes to Dawn, and then because it's a tie between these 5, it defaults to Honglu. Now this isn't good for us because Honglu can't gain Fanatic since it's not an N-Corp unit. But it definitely could mean good things for, you know, other builds. If we focus on Whistles ever, which, you know, definitely could make sense to do, you'd always want to have, you know, your 2, like, strongest units, like, first. I mean, Grip Sinclair, if you have player Grip Sinclair on an import team, he's always going to be selected by Whistles pretty much, since, you know,
완벽한 한 방.
he's almost
더
never at full sandy, and
시원하다.
when he is, something's gone very wrong.
전열이 무너졌고
금방
And
끝내고
just this guy
버스로
left.
돌아갈 수 있겠다. 그치?
We clash against him and he dies.
부러지겠네.
There we go. I was going to defend, but then I realized if we defend, we are still going to technically take damage. Because it depends on what he would have rolled. Maybe we wouldn't have. Maybe we would have rolled high enough.
이단에게
But it just
철의
wasn't worth the
단죄를.
joke.
먼저 끝내고 돌아오는 친구는 맛있는 거 사줄게. 물론
We can get more whistles
카드로.
off here. Or it'll hit you, and it'll hit you too again. We don't really need that. I've got a Retribution, inflicts bleed. Probably better, and then we can pair it into Fanatical Judgment. Yeah, that'll work.
들어주겠네.
No whistles, but it is a pretty minor effect. Really just benefiting Dawn. This way we can get, you know, a little bit of bleed going. With stuff like Dawn's skill 3 and the nails that inflict.
유효타 좋아 계속 집중하지 꽤 떨려라
Did that guy dodge it but still take damage, huh? Oh, no, that was a defend. Never mind. I was so confused for a second, but no, it was just a defend, wasn't it? Yeah, that makes much more sense. I'm thinking like, huh, that shouldn't be happening. But no, it should. I just misread the situation at hand.
생명 활동의 정지를 확인했다
이단이
And more staggers,
비참하는군.
excellent, we love it. Oh, he's just dead, never mind. No Gossipium for you.
저희가 이길 것 같아
Alright, and just you left. You're literally a single tap away from being staggered though, so no, don't want to use an eco. Is Dawn's eco still laggy? I need to check that.
전열이 무너졌군
Curious, because like it's such a strange bug, and I feel like it's been going on for a while. I'll show what I'm talking about in the next fight, in case you don't know exactly what I'm referring to. I've definitely brought it up before, and it always throws me off guard. If this is either Apple or Calendar,
이단에게 철의 단죄를.
neither of which are, you know, particularly great for bleed. Okay, Calendar it is. What we're talking about is if we press and select Dawn.
100초만 기다려줄게.
No, they fixed it. Okay. For a while, there was a bug where for some reason it would take like a couple seconds for it to load Lifetime Stew's image every time you click this menu. It seems fine now. Probably was mentioned in one of the bug fix reports. I don't like fully read all this. I just skim through to see if there's anything that particularly appeals to me, which there usually isn't. Okay. Now this turn, because everyone's at full sanity, when we trigger whistles, it'll hit Honglu and then it'll hit Faust, I believe.
들어주겠네.
Yep. So Faust gets Fanatic. Honglu gets no benefit, but you know, we want him first since he's, you know, the star of the show. There's a small sacrifice we must make. And actually just deals more damage to people with the nails and stuff. Not that it matters too much right now.
지금 뭘 잘못했는지는 알기나 해.
Just showing an example. That's all I'm doing. Okay, just straight up died. That's good.
특별히 첨언할
나이스.
이유도 없고
하나
Ongwu's got high speed this turn. He's got going first, but he doesn't have the other thing. Alright, that's fine. See, who are you guys going for? I think I'm probably take hits. Yeah, you're going for slash tech to people that mostly resist slash. You're neutral to slash, but you're a tank. So we clash these. We clash these.
정화.
Honglu gets more haste for next turn. Fusion some nails on the arm. Arms close-ish to being staggered. We're definitely staggering both the arms here.
검을 덜 갈았었나?
We're breaking both the arms, honestly. Given by just how many attacks we still have going through. Yep, looks like it. I guess Dawn needs to use her skill 1 to kill the other arm, though, which isn't the most likely, because it resists Lust. If it didn't, then I think that arm probably would have gone down there. We still might have done enough damage to bring to the next phase. I don't remember what the exact threshold is. We did. Okay, that's good. If you just almost break both arms, then usually that's good enough. Oh, they're almost all going for you. Honestly, just let them mostly all go for you then. We'll like we'll purge this guy, but otherwise, we're gonna do a little bleed. Actually, this does nothing for us. You do that then. We get our nails off, we get our bleed off. You can't get the benefit from Rampage. Well, it still inflicts, a decent bit of bleed. Also SP healing, which is fine. It's on loose, of course he's got good SP stuff, but still odd. Face isn't even attack, why are we worrying about bleed? Took me a second to realize that, huh? Well, at least it's gonna have, a decent bit of bleed in case it does ever start attacking with its face. It doesn't. I mean, the second phase, or the fourth phase, I mean, it does do the mass attack, but like by that point it's already lost. Make an offering to calm its wrath, okay. Sure thing. Sure thing. Flash them. We'll do a little flashing. We'll probably kill at least one of them, right? Like, does this kill? It does, good. The crit might have mattered? I think just barely, though. Because the thing is, those guys are weak to both Blunt and Envy, so even, something like Mersault skill 1 does wonders. You die? Not quite. Almost there, though. We had one more attack. We could have just finished off the calendar here. That's fine. We've killed one of the dolls, so if he does want to sacrifice, we throw it in. If he doesn't, then we just move on to the next phase. We just move on to the next phase, and it dies. Yeah, moves on to the next phase. Just doing this because I'm just doing like 3 attacks on the calendar. The calendar dies. No doubts about it, yep. There we go. Good enough. Bleed did nothing. But that's how it is sometimes. The Tremor down. Okay, we'll take Gathering Skulls. We've got some Pierce and Pride stuff. Stuff like N Corp or Furukumo or... Yeah, like everyone does. And like most of our team actually does have, some Pierce stuff. Like these guys are pretty Piercy. You're not. You're pretty Piercy. I think you guys are mostly Blunt, but you've got a little bit of Pierce, like your skill 1. Don't know if you have any though. Hard to say. Well, we keep on going top path. Mersault took some damage from all those one-sided attacks he got. He'll heal it back up. It's no concern to me. It's an issue of it no matter.
먼저 끝내고 돌아오는 친구는 맛있는 거 사줄게. 물론 회사 카드로.
Yeah.
이리로 와.
Rodion lost her clash. That should, I mean, it's fine. Unfortunate, but it's fine. These guys will get a bunch of bleed when they're staggered. That's good. Actually, no, it doesn't. The person being attacked again, they might be. They rampage for a little bit of damage. They resist Pierce, so it's only a little bit. What are you thinking? What are we thinking? Going first? Don't mind if he does. Trigger this. Everyone's sanity's fine, so it'll be for Faust. Oh no, we didn't. Never mind. That was Tokundo. That wasn't. I thought it was whistles, but no, it was Ryoshi's passive.
생명 활동의 정지를 확인했다.
야호, 이기는 편, 우리 편.
Let me kill him. They die. Look at the bleed this guy has. An idiot. He's healing up like he's still bleeding, so it doesn't matter. That guy doesn't have too much bleed potency. He's got some good bleed count though. Down he
생명
goes.
활동의 정지를 확인했다.
완벽한
Nice.
한방.
And that's all,
시원한 걸.
folks. Okay, resources. That'd be good, honestly. If we can build up enough sloth resources for me to warrant, like,
실시.
purchasing Gisong, adding him to the team just for the sake of some more crow's eye viewing. It's just this little haste stuff we've been going on. That we could probably do that in place of, like, Heathcliff. He's not really, like, the most bleed-oriented. I kind of want to go for the resonance. I know it's not, like, the best move here, but, like, I see a pride resonance, I go for it. You know, how could I not? Like, we're doing well with the clashes, so, like, there's nothing wrong with it. Even if we are taking less than optimal choices on specifically Ryoshu and Rodion, I think.
칼은 신나.
Still taking optimal choices than everyone else, and we're getting, you know, damage buffs through these executions and stuff. Look at that. How convenient.
이단이 휘청거리는군. 끝이야.
Yeah. And then Runaran will do a little bit. Gon should be able to do a decent chunk of damage, though. They're weak to the blunt. They're weak to the ungabunging. I feel like we're getting a lot of tails for having Napsanyo on everyone. But that's fine. It's not that I've been, you know, counting or anything. Not that I've been paying attention or anything. Yeah, that should do it. Once again, like, the bleed is kind of, like, enough to make it so most of these things are either dead or going to die. A little bit of crashing, and they're already on death's door.
죽음으로
승객이
참여하라.
딱 콩 한 방 먹였어.
Simple as that.
꽤 잘 갈려.
유효타 좋아. 계속 집중하지.
빨리 해치. 굉장해요.
And that's all I'm taking care of. Poise gained final power. That'll be good for the one ally that gets poise each turn. I mean, that is just... I mean, we do only have one person with Gloom because we haven't added Heathcliff, and we might end up not adding Heathcliff.
실시.
So we're just buffing, like, we're buffing Mersault, I guess.
유감 없는 싸움을
Might as well.
기대하겠어.
Nothing wrong with that, exactly. That track, that's unfortunate. This does give you haste on evasion, so you might be able to get a little bit of haste if we do that. But that's good at least. Up to max of 3 is based on how many times you physically evade, so because he's going against the 2-coin attack, if you can evade both the coins, he'll get 2 haste next turn, which is basically like a skill 2, just without, you know, the damage or bleed being inflicted. Okay, I think Konglu's dodging successfully over there. I only saw it for like a split second, but yeah, it looks like he's doing a great job. He's doing wonders. He dodged both of them. Okay, that's good then.
늦으면
He got 2 haste. Thanks to that, he actually does have enough haste to trigger his skill 3, but he doesn't have a skill 3 to use. He can double going first though, so next turn he'll have a bunch of haste. And we can trigger whistles, which will just buff out.
거치적거리지만 마.
Just still, like, just so interesting how Fnatic is exclusive to N-Corp units. They're the only ones that can't physically get it from any source.
이외
귀찮게 끌지 말지.
첨언할 이유도 없군.
Definitely, I do really like how the N-Corp units, like, very clearly, like, segregate themselves from a lot of the other units by having, like, a lot of self-synergy with themselves that really isn't found in a lot of the other organizations. Like, don't get me wrong, it usually is a good idea to run, like, an organization, like, with a bunch of people from that organization. But it's usually not as direct as it is with, N-Corp. We'll take that for our pride skills. That's pretty good. Thinking, burn math. Mirthal, we can give him another skill, too. I do like that idea. Skill 2 is kind of better than a skill 1 a lot of the times. For our purposes, at least. Healing, excellent. And blunt fight.
이단에게
Gidor Murrow.
철의 단죄를.
Take your poison. Although we don't get to pick a poison, we're being force-fed a poison, and it's Morel,
늦으면
okay.
매피랑 먼저 갈 거야.
Oh, we can get a full boss resonance, we'll do that.
이리로
I don't see it. No.
꿰뚫려라.
Oh yeah, I guess I should have mentioned this, earlier in the video, but Lob Corp stream's going on
건강인데?
right now as of the posting of this video, I guess. If you're watching this, more than a few hours after this video was posted, then it's not going to be going live, but feel free to join in, and if you, are watching this later, and you don't frequently stream, it's every Saturday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and link in the description. Getting near the end of the game, it's pretty chill, feel free to join in. Yeah. A little bit late for a plug, that's for sure.
야호. 이기는 편, 우리 편.
Well, you guys are bleeding a little bit. You're not staggered yet, so you don't have your high bleed, so you might... Merle probably just dies this turn.
귀찮게 끌지 말지.
적확한
Nice.
한압이었어.
And down he goes. I'm trying to think of a good question of the day, but nothing's really coming to mind. I don't know. I really need to think of them, like, beforehand. It's kind of hard to think of them, like, mid-run a lot of the times. This is kind of lame choices. We'll take this for the sinking, because it's something, I guess. Is this end, though? Yeah. I don't know, it's hard coming up with some of the questions. I feel like I've gone through a lot of the obvious things, and I'm trying to think of something that's, like, vaguely relevant, but, like... I don't know.
늦으면 매피랑 먼저 갈 거야.
You need some sanity. You need Clash. Okay, that looks good enough for me. Okay, we'll try this. Some neutrals, some favors. It's the best we can do. These Wrath guys are nuisances, but there's 17 rolls on heads. Yeah. Yeah, I was expecting it. That's kind of just how it goes with them.
와,
We're doing well, though.
엄청난 공격이었어. 기념할 만한 걸.
Now that we're actually getting, like, ego identities and stuff like that, it's so sad that we didn't start getting them earlier, because, like, imagine throated Inquisitor Gregor. Like, it would have been so perfect. But the obvious issue with Gregor is, like, he can't, if he's part of N Corp, he can't have a prosthetic arm, so what would they do? And, like, the perfect answer is, like, oh, yeah, he lost his arm, and, he got it back through, like, the ego corrosion. Now he's got a big ego arm, because it's not, a prosthetic, technically, that he's still, fine. It would have been so good, Maybe we can dream one day, maybe. Maybe even just, the eventual, like, hopeful, like, lobotomy ego mimicry Gregor. But, like, the Inquisitors would have been such a perfect way to, like, introduce that. Or maybe he could even be he could either be the Snake one or the Nothing There one. Either one could work. I think the Nothing There one would be cooler. Because, like, the Snake one would feel kind of like a repeat of, like, ADB at this point. But I think that something like that's gonna happen sooner or later. Who knows, maybe someone else could get, like, maybe he could get one of them, and then someone else could get the other one. Like, who doesn't have N-Corp stuff? There's still quite a few that don't have N-Corp stuff, like Yisong. Like, what if Yisong had snake arms? There we go. Perfect, perfect. And that could be, like, a 2-star. I don't know. It'll probably be a while before we get more N-Corp stuff. It'll have to be the next time N-Corp is, like, relevant to the plot.
유효타 좋아.
I guess more specifically the Naglundhammer part of N-Corp, not, the, new League of 9 part of N-Corp. Oh, everyone gains charge count. That's good for Mercel. I guess here we go. I'll tie that into a question of the day. Question of the day. If we could have any, Season 1 identity, what would you want? Anything from, the first 3 chapters of the game that could fit as an identity, and we're just unlikely to get due to the fact that they just don't seem to want to touch Season 1 stuff because it's later season. Like, personally, I've just given, what I would want, what my ideal would be. That being,
칼은 신나.
N-Corp Gregor that's, based on one of the corroded, like, Inquisitors, either Snake or everything there. But there's a lot of options, too, stuff like G-Corp stuff like Aya or Hopkins, stuff like anyone from the casino. There's a lot of things they could still do relating to Season 1, but what do you wish they would do? There we go. Now that's what I call a clean transition. It just takes time to figure it out. There we go. Well, looking at the run itself, I haven't actually been paying the most attention, but it's still going well. I don't think anyone's died yet. Although if someone did die, I might not have, noticed if it happened while I was, like, talking. Because when I'm talking about a lot of stuff like that, I will, like, actively look away from the screen. Like, not, like, far away, just kind of, like, slightly off to the side of the screen where it's, like, still in my view, but I'm just not looking directly at it. Definitely happened before. I think there was, like, one run where I was, like, talking about, like, a friend's playthrough of Lob Corp, and, like, I looked back at the screen and Yisong was dead, and I had no idea how. I still have no idea how he died in that run. I don't even remember which run it was. I know vaguely when it was, though. It was at a specific point
적확한 한압이었어.
in time. It's happened before. I think also something someone mentioned at one point is I think there was a run where there was like a mind whip on like Mercil or something that I just straight up did not comment on because I just straight up did not notice it. And I think later that same run I was like, oh, it'd be funny. I was like, oh, I almost didn't even notice I mind whipped, my own person there. When I didn't even realize that it happened, prior, another time before that in that run.
너 죽었나? 이 공격은 꽤 먹혀든 것 같아요.
Very, very unfocused mindset from me. How it is. It's what makes Lob Corp so funny, though. Wanna kill this guy? Yeah, there we go. I was really hoping he'd stab and kill his own ally. Perfect.
생명 활동의 정지를 확인했다.
And does Anchor Evasion kill? It does, yeah? Yeah, definitely. There we go. Pretty easy fight
좋아. 계속 집중하지.
for us. Now we got our shop. Second to last shop. What do we want still? More skill changes, a good... Oh, smoke and wires, that's a get. That's for sure. Double bleed. Faust skill. Another skill 2, maybe? Isn't there skill 2 like a bunch? Skill 2 is like 5 nails, right? I think that's the play. A little late for golden urns, so I'm gonna pass on that. We've got some blunt. We'll take this. Only a couple people got damaged by it. Did they make the right choice? Because your skill 1 is the one that 1 nails and 2 bleed, but this one's 5 nails, yeah. Another one of those is super good. This is 4 nails too, don't get me wrong, but this one's 5 nails. And they're guaranteed well. On the skill 3, I think one of those nail inflictors was on heads only. It looks like this.
여러분에게
Not really something that bleed works great on. I guess we just go all out in the body though. I think that's the best first turn strategy. We like let it hit us a bunch for the joke. We can spend. You're starting with charge count now, so you can kind of do that. Get some nails. Rampage. Put some nails. Lucky nailing. Okay, the hope is that we can like stack or something before it gets a chance to attack too much. I mean, it's like what, single point attacks on this guy mainly? I think. We get like what, 2 one-side attacks off? It might actually be enough because we can pierce. Oh, it is. Okay, yeah, this guy's bleeding a lot. We probably just break the body here though. Yeah. It's looking like it, so we're not gonna get funny bleed numbers. Because once the body breaks for this guy, you just straight up can't attack him anymore. Blunt attacks are not great for us. Flash attacks are fine for you though. Yep, there goes the body. There goes Hawaii.
우리가 우세.
Okay, so now what? There was the bleed strat. We've already got some bleed. Nothing. Oh, is this? It's 18 bleed and 3 bleed counts for the body. Yeah. I guess that makes enough sense. Well, we're gonna go all out on the left leg then. Yeah. We're gonna bleed your left leg to death. And there's nothing you can do about it. Isn't that how quaint? How quaint is that?
끝이.
유효타 좋아. 계속 집중하지.
I think it's such a funny word. I love funny words like no one like reasonably actually uses in conversations, such as quaint or like forsooth. Part of that, I guess, forsooth stuff is going into like Dawn speech categories, but I think like randomly throwing in some like medieval type like words into sentences when you're not going for like a majority like medieval type. Accent's not the word, like dictation, but like word choice, I guess, is really funny. Like throwing in like a random like alas or
악은 제 형태를 갖추지 못하리라.
내가 응원하는 게 도움이 되긴
Yeah.
하려나? 힘내긴 해보자고.
what do we do on you guys? Kill you guys, I think that's the play. All right, looks sounds good to me. Let's try it. Ooh. That's unfortunate. I guess it happens though. It's a shame though, since I think Faust had the fanatic, right? I mean, she would have inflicted the nails for it actually do anything, so I guess it makes sense that it wasn't, you know, particularly special. Rampage this guy, stagger him, that's good. 18 bleed, 1 bleed count, so he's just gonna gain a bunch more bleed. Yeah, Wound Flare is such a really good get for us here. Definitely one of the best eagle gets for us.
집중하지.
Because we're inflicting more bleed.
승객이 딱콩 한 방.
Yeah, you can already like very clearly tell like that one eagle gift alone was enough to make it so our bleed infliction's actually like pretty good now. Yeah, this guy bleeds to death. We'll clean it up then. We'll clean up his blood once he, you know, blows up. That's what the job of Ryoshi is gonna be this turn. Yeah, and wrath attacks that don't even inflict bleed just inflict bleed as well.
전열이 무너졌군.
And the coins that don't inflict bleed on skills that have bleed somewhere on them also inflict bleed. If I'm not mistaken. Or is
저희가
it the...
이길 것 같아요.
Yeah, rather bleed effect. So you're done for, pretty much. Yeah, 43 bleed on that guy. This is a one-side attack because he's trying to counter it, but he's kind of bleeding to death. I guess his counter doesn't inflict his bleed, though, but he's clashing, right? You got another skill? No, he doesn't. That was all he had. There you go. So funny. What a silly status effect bleed is. Now we get an event. You guys. Sure. Where's the shop on this floor? It's there. Like this, yeah? Yes. Yeah, that looks like the play. Risky encounter, event, then it was a normal encounter, then an event, then a shop, then shop, then event, something like that. It's this fight and a normal fight are the only fights left before the boss is the floor. That's what I'm trying to get at and failing a little bit. Get a whistles off. A little bit of we do a little fanaticizing. When cleared also means that when Mersal's bleed count infliction also inflicts potency. I think. Pretty sure, yeah. I'm not wrong with that, am I? I might be, actually. It might need to be bleed potency. It would be a little lame, but you know, I wouldn't be shocked. Crack your skull, just counter that. That guy's gonna crack your skull, and you just kinda have to let him do it. Like, it would be rude to not let him, you know, crack your skull, you know? Proper manners are important.
이 공격은 꽤 먹혀든 것 같은.
So thanks to the tattoo, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of what is it? Attack power or not attack power? Offensive level up on Honglu.
끝이.
Look at the chance to use it. Yeah, look at that. The 8 from the tattoo. Since every hit of the pride attack gives him 2. That's why I took the tattoo. Tattoo's really good for stuff like that. Yeah, okay. What the rain leads please. This will be good for our critter, which is critter. Mersal is a critter.
어려운 일은 아니었네.
Our crit enthusiast, Mersal.
나설 만한 곳이어야 할
He's only like
겁니다.
this because of the actual pendant we have, and we also have the smoking pipe, so he's also gaining power for having crit.
먼저
But
끝내고 돌아오는 친구는
Dragon
맛있는
Toys.
거 사줄게. 물론
it's very silly. Go for Pride Resonance, why not?
정화.
Doesn't do much for us. What situation would you want Pride Resonances? There's an Eagle gift that's like, yeah, Pride Resonances are good for something, right?
깨어라.
Trying to think which one I'm thinking of. Maybe I'm just thinking of like,
귀찮게 끌지 말지.
is it the ring?
끝이.
Is it prejudice? It might be. Yeah. We have prejudice, I think. Yeah, at least feel 10% of them missing HP. That's cool. There's something else though. There might have been something else that I'm thinking of. That's just a good EU gift that really benefits you going for Pride Residences. I know like the Sloth Residences of course is, you know, Sun Shower. It's just getting that effect trigger a lot. I don't know what I'm thinking about though. Oh, this Rampage will be good, and he's gonna gain a bunch of power from this, which he can then use with his going first. Gain, you know, 6 offensive level on the going first, which he might not get a chance to use. That kind of... he does not. We're just too good. We're just doing too much damage with this team. So I mean, it's to be expected, you know, 7-person teams in Mirror Dungeon 2, normal. Healing? Sure. Boss is Fairy Gentleman, okay. Dawn skill. Sure, I mean, what was the plan? Skill 2 to skill 3, right? Yeah, okay. That does nothing for us. Take this, I guess. There we go. We've got some sloth now, so we might as well do a little Yi signing. Yeah, 12. That's enough for, you know, a couple crows I've used. Let's see. What if I want to bleed? Like the left arm's the one you might think you want to bleed, but like it doesn't do a lot. The body will start doing attacks sooner or later. Probably want to do the left arm though, anyways. Yeah. Okay. Step 1, bleed. We can't cross if you that, that's right. We get attack power down on this though. We can make it so its one-side attack's a little weaker if we do that. That works. We can dodge an attack. Yeah, we'll try that for a little bit of haste next turn. No, we don't actually need the coin power though, I just remembered. All we care about is the bleed. Like this. Should go pretty well, I imagine. Yeah, already doing a lot of damage. I mean, he's weak to Pride, he's weak to Pierce. You know, we're gonna be doing a lot of damage. I also probably need to be more careful with all the clashing I'm doing. I kind of forgot that, oh yeah, he's gonna be... We've got bleed. He's gonna run out of it on... himself. But he's still gonna get... He's still building up the nails, though, that's the thing. And now we build up bleed on the arm. Next turn it's staggered, so we'll be able to safely build up a bunch of bleed. Oh no, he's gonna be unstaggered though, that's right. I forgot about that. Okay, that's fine. We can just use this time to build up... I'm pretty sure once you break arm, it can never be staggered again, right? So we can freely attack it a bunch, you know, with maximum speed, then it'll just have a bunch of bleed. We can possibly try bleeding it out a little bit. Yeah, the one-side attack is
보기가
fine.
무거워요.
Everyone's got, you know, speed this
저들이 곧
turn,
달려들 것 같아요.
so you've got a fast crash, not that that does anything, yeah. Well, looking at the left arm, 30 bleed, 6 count, that's good. Okay. So here's the play. You guys aren't doing much of anything, so you guys can clash that. That'll work. Either your egos inflict bleed. It doesn't seem like it, that's fine though.
정화.
Not that big of a deal to me. Well, this guy's gonna be bleeding so hard by the time we're done with him. You got no idea. And he's healing himself too, that's right. Since he does that unless you deal with his gimmick, but there's no need to deal with his gimmick, because like if he heals himself good, that just means we'll prolong his suffering. Bird's eye view for more haste next turn once again. Closer to our ideal. Teary-eyed, once gentle souls. I've watched those give
유효타 좋아. 계속
wilted away,
집중하지.
wilted away. Mayor says that lost the rhythm, eh. Oh well.
땅 밑에
How's your
있어.
bleed looking? How's your bleed looking?
흔들흔들.
You got a little bit of bleed. Just a little though. Oh, we can execution this. Okay, there we go. We're definitely doing that. Execution this buffs everyone. Demolish. Focus strike does nothing for us. So that's fine. You also do like nothing for us. You can cross view the body once again. Like that, okay. More bleed, more bleed. Definitely not like the fastest kill of this guy, but you can definitely tell he's like bleeding out at a rapid rate. You know, execution's just kind of a damage buff, so maybe we didn't particularly need it.
대성공이야.
We're not trying to deal damage, we're just trying to bleed.
노래 부를까?
But that's fine.
이상이 무엇이라 생각하시오?
Still works. And 70 damage, 15 damage, that isn't the best thing for us, but it's okay. It's alright. Look at that bleed, it's definitely alright. Okay, the plan from here is simple. We're not gonna attack this guy anymore. Does he have enough attacks going to just straight up die? No, not quite. Alright, well,
조금씩 끝이 보이네요.
we can just chill now. There's no need to attack him. Oh, actually, style. We gotta do the style points though. And look at that. Look at that style. Swiftly dodge out of the way, and he just blows up into a through the use of like a blood explosion spell.
야, 오랜만에 발 뻗고 눕네요. 계속 이대로 돈 모아서 더 좋은 장비를 달아야겠어요.
Silly. What a silly guy Hong Lu is. He did the most damage because he had, you know, most speed dice. We get 3 more levels. We're rising up the ranks slowly but surely. Closer to our ideal.
정해진 시간에 기상하는 것은 사측에 명시된 내용입니다.
And claim the past missions, because I always forget to claim these.
모르는 것 같군요.
And 12 boxes. That's nice. And now we do our daily extractions. See if we get anything noteworthy. I hope not. And finally, nothing. Alright, that's fine. Works for me. I've got plenty of shards. But anyways, cool unit, that's for sure. It's decent bleed. Like, we didn't really get to see him to, you know, his fullest extent because, you know, it's a bleed team. Everyone was just spamming their bleed skills to build up as much bleed as possible. It's nice having another decent bleed potency unit though, because really we've got far too much bleed count oriented units that just really can't build up enough bleed. That'll be all for this time. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.